pushing through to get back into routine. This is for anybody who's struggling to get back in routine. You are not going to be able to enter in at the same level that you exited. So hear me clearly. If you don't hear anything else, jot that down. You are not going to be able to enter at the same place that you exited when you first fell off or when you got sick. You're going to have to pull back some. What we do is we get our momentum, right? And we get going and we get going and we get going. And we're at this, like, we're moving and grooving. We're right here. And let's say that's 4 workouts a week. And we were getting up at 5 a.m. and we were whatever. And just hypothetically, right? And then something happens. We get a knee injury. And then after that, the seasons change. And then now we also have pneumonia and the seasons change. And then we think that our next entry point is going to be 4 workouts a week. I just got to get up at 5 a.m., get my 4 workouts in this week, and I'll be back on track. No, the track has changed. So you've really got to go back and pick up your low-hanging fruit first. Don't try to be at the top of the tree. You fell off, right? You fell down from the tree. So we got to go back and get the low-hanging fruit. What is the low-hanging fruit for yourself? For me personally, that is always getting out for walks first. Always. Your routine is established when you are creating space for certain things. That's where you got to start. Okay. And then eventually you'll get to where that space that you created for your walks, basically when you fall off, you lose track of how to create space for the things that you were making space for, space and energy. And so when you're trying to re-enter back into a routine, you got to come back down a few notches, re-engage with something at an entry level that's easier to maintain. So again, like I'm saying, walking being that for a lot of people. It could also be popping on a yoga video for 3. It's whatever your low-hanging fruit is. Okay. You got to figure out what that is. Whatever's not ground zero. Okay. Nothing is here. What is one notch up? That might be your thing. Okay. And you're going to do that consistently for a month. All right. You're building that muscle back up of creating time, following through, creating time, following through, creating time, following through. And then after a month or 2, you have to figure it out. Then you can start saying, okay, one of these, let's say you're doing 3 walks per week, right? And in the B3 crew, you are pretty much on a structure of 3 workouts a week, around 40 minutes a workout. And then if you're on a customized program, you got more stuff. So let's say you're on the baseline thing. Then you're going to say, okay, one of these workouts, I'm going to start doing one of these movement sessions is going to start being my workout. So then you're going to do that on Monday. Okay. So you're going to first start 3 walks a week for 4 weeks. And then the second month, you're going to pick one of those days a week and make that your workout for the week. And then you're going to walk twice. And then you're going to work out for the week, you're going to walk twice. You're going to work out for the week, you're going to walk twice for 4 more weeks. Then on the third leg, you're going to make it 2. So now you're working out twice. Boom, boom, walk. Workout, workout, walk. Workout, workout, walk. And then by, month 3 there? Month 4, now you're back into the 3 workouts a week. And hey, guess what? You've been walking too. And you're probably going to notice that those walks, I start to miss my walks. When I start to swap, because you got to swap sometimes. We only have 24 hours in a day. Sometimes you end up swapping. And I say go for strength training as much as possible and then get your walks in otherwise. But you're going to start to realize I actually miss my walks. And so what you're going to eventually probably do is start doing your strength training workouts and your walks. And it's going to eventually just feeling better, moving better, following through, feeling confident in yourself is eventually going to help you to get back to where you were. But you cannot expect yourself to bounce back to where you were before this all happened.